Hello! Wow, am I sick. Hello, Internetians. My name is Josh, aka Ultiplayer, your coach of the New York Metagross. Welcome to the new league, the NPA Minor League, or the NPAA, as you can clearly see on your screen. This is going to be a very quick league that I barely made it into. So, shout out to us for making it into such an important league. We were chosen as one of 24 coaches to participate in what's basically going to be a play test for NPA Season 4. There are plenty of high-level players in this league, and it is just so nerve-wracking to have to face any of them. So, yay! That's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. So like I said, 24 coaches. For some reference on how high level this league is going to be, we have people from the NPL Minors and I believe the Houston Toxapexans is from the NPL Minors. I believe the main Red Claw Witzers is from the NPL Minors. We have people from the PPL, I believe only D2 however, and people like Potato Jim, coach of the Pineco Ramblers, or in this league he's going to be the Meek Mammoth Wine. We have Amazing Chi, coach of the Newcastle United. We have my good friend in Vivid Color, coach of the South Texas Stabilize. We have... wow, I cannot remember. Anyway, we have plenty and plenty of high-level players in this league. So, that's fun. So not only is this going to be an intro to the league, really, but it's also going to be a draft recap. So... I will get done in a second. Now, what's really cool, okay, since I can't use words, English, the really cool thing about this league is there is the potential to move up to the main league. There is a chance to be promoted and potentially end up in NPA Season 4, which is really, really huge and really, really big. It is amazing that opportunity is in front of us right now. The New York Metagross have proved time and time again how capable we are in this format, and have this opportunity in front of us is just amazing. So I'm going to be putting all of my effort into this league. Any bit I can put in, any effort I can put into making sure my teams will be perfect for each week, making sure that the videos look very nice and professional, will be staggering, in all honesty. I can't remember how I started the sentence, so I hope I finished that sentence correctly. So yay, there's the professionalism already showing. We have new graphics that are going to be coming to the channel, hopefully by week 1. If not, they will be around for week 2. And we have an intro. We're going to have a little animated intro, and it is going to be absolutely horrible, because it was made by me in an hour on Windows Movie Maker. So, yay! Professionalism. Anyway, let's talk about the draft for a second. So, the draft went like this. It was a 24-man snake-style draft, with each coach being required to pick a mega, 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, 1 tier 3, 2 tier 4s, 1 tier 5, and then 4 picks using your free 100 points. That's awesome. Now, we were number 3 in the draft, which is amazing because we never do well. We never do well when the randomization hits us. We always end up near the end, which is cool for snake picks. But, I mean, this is still cool for snake picks. However, it's great for round 1, but any round after that is going to be staggering. Between pick 1 and pick 2, there are 40 picks, which caused a lot, and a lot, and a lot of sniping, to where the team kind of didn't end up how I wanted it to end up or how I wanted it to end up. However, I still think it's a very powerful team. I still think it's threatening and scary as hell to prep for, and I think I have some reliable bulk to fall upon, which we all know has been a problem in the past. So, without further ado, let's get into this, shall we? Actually, our first pick. So, like I said, we were number 3. And there was a lot of mons that we were looking for. Like I said, we were playtesting the new tiers, and not going to be the same as NPA Season 4. That's why we're here, making sure that certain things aren't in certain wrong tiers, and that certain mons that they allowed in weren't broken. So there's a lot of things I was looking at. I wanted to go the Victini route, which is my failsafe if I think I need a super good first round pick and something that I'll be able to use well and threaten the entire draft with. So that was on my mind. Mega Dancy was on my mind. I didn't get it in the DBL, so I really thought about drafting it here. Just a lot of mons were on my mind. However, the one that was really standing out to me, like, I was heavily considering a lot of things, and I was like, even though I'm pick 3, I don't think this mon will get to me. I still think it'll go. I think it'll go number 1 pick. However, when it came to me, and I saw that Garchomp and Tapu Fini were the first 2 picks taken, I was ecstatic because I was finally able to use this mon. Anyone who's watched my channel since the very beginning has seen this mon, knows how much I love this mon. And I'm so excited to finally be able to use it in draft, and that is going to be the one and only Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile is without a doubt one of the scariest physical wall breakers in the game. So much so that it was banned to Ubers in Gen 6 or banned to Ubers in Gen 6 OU. Or Gen 6, whatever. Words. English. It's amazing. It is stupid strong. And, like, I've already prepped for week 1. I already have my team basically ready. I'm just finalizing it with the front office. And it is crazy. I've been doing calcs with this thing, and it is intense. It is stupid scary strong. And, yeah. It's ridiculous. It's super bulky. It has a low HP stat, but its great defensive stats of 125 and 95 help make up for that. It may be slow as dirt at 50 base speed. However, it can take a hit, and it can fire back wall-breaking hits. Just single hits. Just take down walls. It is crazy. It is absolutely insane how strong this thing is. Like, I know Mega Mawile is strong. I knew Mega Mawile was strong before drafting it. However, the amount of power this thing puts out is insane. So, there's that. Second thing, you can see the art on screen. You know very well, if you watch my channel, that this is Mega Mawile art by All0412. Link to his DeviantArt is in the description. I have art for every single one of my mons that I've drafted, and every single one of the links is in the description. Except for the next mon, which I could not find the link for. However, if anyone can find the original artist, that'd be great, so I can credit them. Now, this mon. I've said it enough. It gives me a fairy type, which is really nice. It gives me a steel type, which is really nice. It gives me a stealth rocker, which is fabulous. Having an offensive stealth rocker, which I love. It has priority in Sucker Punch. It has coverage moves in Fire Fang, Thunder Punch. It has setup in Swords Dance. It can run utility with stuff like Knockoff. It is phenomenal. And it is probably going to get a crap ton of kills. Or at least put a lot of pressure on my opponent. So that's Mega Mawile. I'm going to try and keep these little rundowns short so I don't have a 55-minute draft recap video. But that is going to be Mega Mawile. Super spoopy, crazy wall breaker that is going to end lives in every week. So with that, our second mon. Now, the dream was never going to come true. The dream was Mega Mawile and then grab a Lottie on the second round. That was never going to happen. Not in this life. However, I still got a very good dragon. I wanted to get that dragon immediately. I have my fairy, I have my steel. I wanted my dragon to complete the core. I love fairy dragon steel cores. Anyone who knows me knows that's what I go after before anything. I think they're much more reliable. I think they're have much more utility. I just love fairy dragon steel cores in general. So, for my dragon, I considered a lot of things. while I know that I use this mon, or I use Hydreigon a lot, and it's really good, and I'm really good with it, and it's held up in every single league I've used it, I didn't want to use it again. I feel like I've used it too much on the channel. I feel like there could have been another mon I could have used, etc. I didn't, no, not that I didn't want to use something like Garchomp, but it was taken. A lot of things that I wanted was taken. However, one mon that really stood out to me as pairing very nicely with Mawile, in ways of synergy and ways of breaking down cores together, was Dragonite. Dragonite is, again, a very good physical wall breaker, and was buffed very highly in Gen 7 with the addition of Z moves. At this point, this is where I'm gonna go over Z captains and everything. So, the way the NPA Minors League is going to work is that there are not going to be Z captains at all. Any mon can use Z crystals, as long as it's not Omni boosting or evasion boosting. So, that just makes Dragonite all the better. I can bring a Z crystal on some of my other mons, but I can also, like, this is probably going to be the one mon that I bring Z crystal on the most. It is ridiculous how good this thing is when you pack it with Electrium Z for Gigavolt Havoc. Icy, I don't know if it gets Ice Punch. I believe it does. It should, right? I don't remember if it gets Ice Punch. I know it gets Fire Punch and Thunder Punch, so it should get Ice Punch. Dragonium Z. It's really nice. Tectonic Rage would be great. Corkscrew Crash, take down fairies. Supersonic Sky Strike from the special side with Z Hurricane. The possibilities are endless. This is a great setup sweeper with agility, or Dragon Dance, even better. Swords Dance, I believe it gets. It can run weakness policy, and combined with multi-scale, make that a threatening sweeper. We've seen that in the UBLN. It's phenomenal. It gets me a defogger, which I will probably run defog -3 times on it, unless I absolutely feel like it's necessary for me to run defog on it. However, it gets me a defogger, which, in worst case scenario, I can fall back on. It gets great support moves and stuff like Thunder Wave. It can run a bulky set with Roost. It can do so much, and it is going to just decimate this league, and I'm so excited to use it. I can't wait to use Choice Band. I can't wait to use Dragon Dance. I can't wait to use Multiscale, Z Crystals, you name it. Very good mon, and pairs very well with Mawile. So for our next pick, like I said, we were number 3, so this is round 2, so we only have a few picks until our next pick. Immediately I noticed that we were running very bulky offense. I have mons that can take hits, but aren't necessarily walls. And before I have to disappear for 40 picks, I wanted to make sure I got a very reliable wall. Something that can take hits with very little problems, and also provides support to the team. Something that can almost stand alone, but still likes the support from other mons. So the mon I really was looking at was Necrozma. Necrozma, I've used it in the PML. I very like it. It is a threatening setup sweeper. With rock or Autotomize, I believe. I don't know if it gets Rock Polish. It might get Rock Polish. Either way, it gets Autotomize. Or it gets one of them. It gets Calm Mind. It gets Iron Defense. It gets Stored Power. It gets... That's it. But those 3 are just enough. Like, running any combination of those 2, Moonlight and the Stored Power, is very threatening. If your opponent does not have a Dark type, this thing will destroy everything in its path. It also provides great utility with stuff like Stealth Rock and I believe Thunder Wave. It can toxic things. It has a great offensive stat, meaning that it's not a passive wall, which is phenomenal. I love when I don't have passive walls. I hate passiveness. Stuff like Alamomola, I hate. I cannot stand using it. I've used it before, cannot stand it, and I don't think I'll ever be able to use it again. Sorry, Touche and his fish, but I cannot use that mon ever again. It's way too passive. It was way too easy to have it serve something to set up on it. But Necrozma doesn't do that. It does have great coverage and stuff like Earthquake and stuff like Dark Pulse and stuff like Blast Cannon, stuff like Stab Psychic and Psyshock. Which means it won't really have to worry about something putting up a sub against it. It does have one crippling weakness. Well, it has lots of crippling weaknesses. In fact, they can be toxic. But one thing is they can't use all the hidden powers. Like, they can't use hidden power fighting, which sucks for dark types. Just because it's a Gen 7 exclusive legendary, and they come with 3 perfect IVs anyway. So that is fun. However, it's fine. It's still a crazy threatening sweeper, a very bulky wall, and what makes it even better as a defensive Pokemon is the fact that it has access to Prism Armor, which is basically like Filter. It is going to reduce any super effective attacks towards it, and just make it so much easier to handle things. So that's that. 40 picks later, it comes back to me. A lot of mons we're looking at, me in the front office. One mon that stands out is a Pokemon, like Necrozma, that can help support, or not really help support Necrozma, but can help take some of the pressure off Necrozma from always being the wall, from always being the one to take hits. And that is going to be Snorlax. I've wanted to use this mon for so long. I think it is so threatening, I think it is so good, and the fact that Gen 7 released the Super Citrus Berries, like the Papa, like the Figgy, just makes it so much better. This thing can be a great Assault Vest user. It can be a great Setup Sweeper and Curse. It can run Recycle, it can run Breast Talk, it can run whatever it needs. It's phenomenal. This gives me an Ice Resist and a Fire Resist, which is very, very good, which is something I really needed, as Dragonite and Mawile being weak to those two, while my only resist being the other. It's phenomenal to have that other resist with Thick Fat. This gives me a Toxic switch in. Sure, I think that something is going to try and Toxic Necrozma. If I run Immunity Snorlax, I can switch into Snorlax on that and be much better off. Which is good because I ended up with only one Cleric on this team, and that's Dragonite with Heal Bell. So, it's good to have that Toxic switch in. It's good to have a... Well, since I may be running Rest a couple weeks, it's very good to have that status switch in general. Snorlax is a phenomenal normal type. This gives me a Ghost Resist, which so far I have 0, and I have Necrozma, weak to it. That's good. I already have a great Dark Resist in Mawile. Mawile is probably one of my favorite knockoff switches in the game. It has Intimidate before it Mega Evolves. It has great physical defense, and it resists knockoff. It is probably one of the best knockoff switches you can ever have, bar like pre-Mega Absol, which is one of my favorites to use in PU. It's non-Mega Absol with Z-Crystal. So anyway, that's Snorlax. Great coverage. Gets Earthquake, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, numerous normal type stats. I can even run Pulverizing Pancake should I really want to. Just because, again, Z-Crystals allow it to just be... or the fact that I can use Z-Crystals on any mon. Curse with a Z-Crystal, scary. Spoopy scary. Yeah, I'm going to be outsped and probably have to take a hit, but what is going to switch into an Adamant Snorlax is +1 Sub-Zero Slammer? What is going to be able to take it down after that? So, that's Snorlax. Phenomenal mod. I think it's going to do a lot of work this season. So, we have for our next pick, again, coming back on the wheel, I wanted a water type before. Well, I don't think it was before. I think it was too late at this point. So I've learned my lesson. 24-man drafts now. If MLP Season 7 is a 24-man snake style draft, I have learned my lesson. I know what to do next time, and that is there are waves basically. If one specific kind of mon gets drafted, like a hazard removal, like a rapid spinner, or a bulky water type, they're all gonna be gone by the time it comes back to you. Someone drafted, I believe it was Vaporeon or Milotic, and the next 9 picks were all water types. Slowbro went, Azumarill went, Slowking went, like I think Alomomola went. Like all the water types just started falling off. So I wanted to grab my water type at this point. I knew there was never going to be another chance I was going to get one. I didn't grab a bulky water type this time. I wanted an offensive. Because I love water type as an offensive type as well. Because I think it can do so much work. Especially since most of them get access to Scald. I know in the TTM Open, I had Vaporeon and I ran offensive Vaporeon versus Miyochi, and it just destroyed him because he did not have good water resist. I think water type can be a very good offensive typing. And that being said, I also wanted to get a hazard setter. Another hazard setter. So, specifically I wanted spikes. So I knew I was going to be able to get rockers later on. I have 2 already, and I knew I was going to be able to get at least 1 more. So I wanted spikes specifically. So that narrowed it down to Galaisopod, or the Mon we drafted, which is going to be Greninja. I really like the thought of Galaisopod, but I kind of noticed that my fastest Mon on the team was Dragonite at base 80, so the front office was like, you need to get speed or you're going to get destroyed. But hey, the fact that my speed tiers are the way they are in this league, it's fine. I can run Trick Room if I want to. Imagine if Mawile is basically the fastest thing on the field, and your switch-in takes like 75% to play off. Yeah. Greninja. Awesome hazard lead, or awesome offensive suicide hazard lead. Words are hard. Great Mon to put a Specs on. Great Mon to put a Scarf on. Great Mon to use as Volt Turn. Great Mon altogether. God, I wish this was Protean. Because I probably would have drafted it round 1. But it's not. It is Torrent Greninja. So one of the things that I like to do when I draft is, if a Mon has been threatening to me in leagues that I've been running recently, I'll consider drafting it. Highly consider drafting it. Greninja has been a threat in almost every single league that I've had to face it in for a while now. So I'm like, alright, let's see what all the hype is. It has great coverage. It has spikes, it has toxic spikes, it has U-turn. It is a great offensive hazard setter with a life orb. You come in on something like a Rhyperior or Landorus Therian, and you force them out because they don't want to take an Ice Beam or a Hydro Pump, and you get up a Spike, which is phenomenal. Greninja gets just very good coverage and stuff like Ice Beam, Gunk Shot. You can run Hidden Power Fire, you can run Low Kick, you can run a physical set with Waterfall and Night Slash. You get Water Shuriken, which is great priority. It is a phenomenal Mon. Phenomenal Mon. It gives me that great speed stat, and this is going to end up being my fastest Mon on my team, which is fine by me. This forces base 130 Mons like Jolteon and Crobat to run positive speed natures, which is great, making them easier to handle. This just provides more offensive pressure. It gives me a good special attacker, taking some of the ease off Necrozma. One thing I noticed at this point was like special attackers were kind of scarce on my team, so I ended up having to deal with that later. However, I think Greninja is just phenomenal. I cannot wait to use it, cannot wait to see what the hype is about, and hopefully it will put in all the work. So, this is pick number 5. I believe this is pick number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is pick number 5. So 40 picks later, when it came back to me, the front office and I hadn't really decided on a pick yet. I think they were all asleep because it was late at night. I looked at my team and I saw that my fighting resists were kind of eh. Like, I do have Dragonite, which can take fighting attacks, but it gets blocked by Ice Punch. Necrozma is a great fighting resist. However, I don't want to rely on Necrozma being my fighting resist every single time. And it came to me, and I was looking at what was taken, and I looked at what was still there. And I've never drafted this Mon earlier than what I've drafted it this time. This Mon, I took it round 6, keep in mind. Round 6. Keep in mind, round 6. And this is the earliest I've ever drafted it. So, returning from the DBL, which is still going on, but returning from the DBL, this Buzzwole! Why? Why do people sleep on this Mon? This Mon is incredible. I love it. Sub-Roost sets, Sub-Toxic sets, Choice Scarf, Choice Band, Life Orb, 4 attacks, Bulk Up, whatever you want. This thing is amazing. I love this Mon. Buzzwole! Okay. Bug Fighting type gives me great fighting resist, especially with that monstrous 140 base defense, 107 HP. It's great. I can run it offensive and it's a fighting resist, which is my favorite thing. It has an interesting speed tier, tied with Necrozma at 79, but that's a good Choice Scarf speed in my opinion. especially since how much I love the snowball effect. We had this experience with Nihilego in the UAPB. Snowball effects are dangerous. I had this experience with Celesteela in the DBL. Snowball effects is the scariest thing you can go up against. This gets one boost. All of a sudden, your checks don't become checks. It is just terrifying how well the Ultra Beast can be at late game sweeping, should they have the speed for it. It is phenomenal. Beast Boost is one of the best abilities you could ever have. This thing has decent coverage and stuff like Ice Punch, so I don't have to worry about flying types. Stone Edge. I don't know if it gets that headbutt. It gets Earthquake, I believe. It gets Bulk Up. It gets just phenomenal things. I don't know how much more I can say about it than what I did in the DBL. It's a phenomenal mon, and I think it's going to put in all the work. So, at this point, I missed the hazards, the Rapid Spin wave. I should have gotten a Rapid Spinner when I got Greninja. However, it's whatever. It's fine. I'll get some hazard removal. I've dealt with low hazard removal before, and I can do it again. I ended up with 3, and the next pick was one of them. There was very little hazard removal left on the board. There was one mon that I knew I'd hopefully be able to get, but I wasn't going to get it this round. I wanted to get this mon because I felt like it was going to be the one that was going to be taken. And turns out it was right. In Vivid Color said he was going to take it if I hadn't. So we drafted it at the right time. And that mon is going to be Cryogonal. It gives me a very decent Rapid Spinner. It kind of patches up some of the speed tiers problems I've been having. It gives me that patch between Dragonite and Greninja with 105 base speed. It's a decent hazard removal. I don't think it's bad. The buff it got in Gen 7 was very helpful to it, so now it can take a physical hit for once. It has decent special attack. It gets access to Freeze Dry. It gets Recover. It gets Rapid Spin. It's not the worst mon. I think it's a very decent Rapid Spinner. I think it can come a couple times, provide that support. It is weak to rocks, however. Not the best. However, but I think it'll put in a lot of work. I think it can very much handle. It gives me good natural special bulk, which is nice. It's like Buzzwole in that effect, where it has that natural bulk where it can run offensive and still take on a special hit, a special ice type hit, because it cannot take any other hits, and it can fire back decently powered ice beams. Now, I don't have much to say on this. What can you really say? Freeze Dry, Ice Beam, Toxic, Recover, Rapid Spin, Flash Cannon. There's not much to say. But I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be great. So, 40 picks. 40 picks later. A couple picks before me, people start discussing a certain mon. The mon that I thought would make it back to me. So, I knew I wasn't going to be around. I was likely not going to be around for my next pick. So I sent my picks into, I believe, Galactic Elliot. And I said, quote, "This is my next pick. Should someone snipe it, find out who started the discussion in the chat and call them a weeb. I'll have to pick when I come back." So there's that. So at this point, like, I was really, like, torn whether or not I was going to draft this mon. However, I knew that I'd be able to get another mon right after it. And I thought, why not give something, or get something, that someone has to plan for? I think my draft at this point is not the best. I believe it's very scary, but it's very manageable at this point. So I wanted to get something that, favorite phrase right here, forces people to prep a certain way. And what better way to force someone to prep than to draft weather? Torkoal's a phenomenal. Okay, let me try that again. Torkoal is an okay Rapid Spinner. It's a decent Rapid Spinner. It's not the worst. It gives you a great fair resist and can come in on stuff like Clefable and Rapid Spin if it's not Calm Mind. It can come in on stuff like a Florges Rapid Spin. And it gives me another Stealth Rocker, which is great. I'm up to 3 Stealth Rockers and a Spiker. It gives you decent offensive pressure. Just Shell Smash in general can be really scary. If you're not prepped for it, it can destroy you. it gives me Sun. And there's not much to say about Torkoal because it's kind of two-dimensional. You're either running a defensive variant or you're running a Shell Smash variant. So there's not much to say about that. You know, it gets Solar Beam, gets Earth Power, gets Rapid Spin, it gets Stealth Rocks, etc. But like I said, I wanted to draft Weather. I don't like Weather teams. There's one thing that, and I will tell you about Weather. I don't like Weather teams. I don't like a team that is Pelipper, Mega Swampert, Kingdra, Ludicolo, Kabutops, Ferrothorn, Tornadus Therian. Just weather. I've drafted Weather before. I have a Sand team in the UBLN. I have, when I was in the DGBA, I had a team with like Mega Alakazam and Scolipede and Clefable and everything. And at the end of the draft, I drafted Pelipper, Kingdra, and Kabutops. I like Weather. I love Weather. I think Weather is phenomenal in League. I think it destroys everything and it forces people to prep for it. However, I don't like teams completely based around Weather. I like having the option of Weather. I like having it be there. I like having to have people prep for it. But I also like the fact that your team is not one-dimensional. Like this. By now, you probably guessed I've drafted Venusaur. Now, like I said, I love the fact that my team is not one-dimensional. Same thing that goes with my UBLN team. I have X-Control plus Tyranitar. Weather is threatening as all hell. However, I still have stuff to fall back on. I still have offensive pressure in Primarina. I still have Bird Spam. I still have all kinds of stuff. I don't like the one-dimensional side of drafting full Weather teams. But the fact that I have Torkoal and Venusaur just there, you have to prep for Mega Mawile and Dragonite, but you still have to prep for that ridiculously fast Venusaur, which can outspeed your entire team and hit you with Solar Beams. Here's another thing. Z-Crystals. Imagine you think you can take a hit with your special defensive mon from this Venusaur. All of a sudden, +2 Bloom Doom destroys your face. It's great. It's phenomenal. Growth is very, very good under Sun. It has access to stuff like Earthquake, Knockoff, Giga Drain, Solar Beam, Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball, or Hidden Power Fire. I used Mega Venusaur and I loved it. And now I get to use regular Venusaur, which is incredible. Great Mon. Gives me another fighting resist. Gives me just a good, decent grass type. Which will let me, I can run special Sped F variants here and there. Gives me good, I mean, you can run Leech Seed. It's there. I think you can put in work. I can't wait to use it. So next Mon, last two, it's going to be basically the last round for me. Things that I'm missing. Ground type and Electric type. Stunfisk is there. Bet your ass that I considered it. He got sniped. Alright, that's fine. I love Stunfisk. I used it PML Season 2. It's a phenomenal Mon. However, Mon that we ended up choosing was Rhydon. Rhydon's a great ground type. Gives me another Stealth Rocker. Gives me versatility. This is one of my favorite things. There's a lot of Mons that I really considered during this draft that I ended up ditching because I don't want having a knockoff weakness. At this point, I don't have a knockoff weakness. I'm perfectly fine with it. How many times are you really going to be clicking knockoff against my team when I have Mawile that can switch in very reliably? You have Buzzwole, which is one of the best dark type resists in the game. You have Greninja, you have... That's it. I do have this Eviolite Mon, and I do have the Crossmon, but that's the only reason you really want to click knockoff, in my opinion. Knockoff is not going to be spammable against my team. It's still probably going to come like almost every single week, but it's not spammable, which is great. However, Rhydon. Fantastic Mon. Freaking-tastic Mon. Very good physical bulk. Okay special bulk with the Eviolite, and if you invest, it's even better. Decent speed, and a great setup sweeper. I mentioned how my speed tiers were, and I still think they're kind of but this does kind of patch up that bridge between Cryogonal and Greninja if you think about it. Rhydon at max speed with an Adamant Nature at +2 after a Rock Polish, which is a very viable set, ends up being around the same speed as a base 113 Mon, which is phenomenal. I believe it's 358, which is 1 point higher than Superior. So, there's a good speed tier gap. Speed tier gap. There is still the speed gap between the Dragonite and Cryogonal, which does not end up getting patched, but I do have free agencies that I may use to fix that. Now, Rhydon. Like I said, great setup sweeper. Sword Stance, Rock Polish, Edgequake. Phenomenal. Stab, as quick. After my run in the UAPB, I think I'm more comfortable with 4 times weaknesses. I don't like my ground types having 4 times weaknesses, but I can do it. If I can win the UAPB with Gligar, Gastrodon, and Donphan on the same team, I can handle having my electric immunity, one of my electric immunities, my only electric immunity, be weak to, or 4 times weak to a type. The great thing is that I do have Venusaur, which resists electric, and that will make people consider running HP Ice instead of HP Water or Grass. So that's lit. Now, Rhydon, like I said, it's very strong. It's very low-key strong. Like, I don't think people realize how strong Rhydon actually is until they're calcing for its 100 and it's on screen. I believe it's 130 base attack. It's great. It's great. I love it. I think it's going to do very well. It has great coverage. Like I said, Rock Polish is a very good set. Sword Stance is a good set. Offensive Rocks is a good set. Defensive Rocks is a good set with stuff like Toxic. I think it's going to do well. So for our final pick, we were discussing a lot of electric types. Raichu was on the board until we got tonight. Awesome. One mon that I really considered and really like talking to the front office about. There's a lot of mons. We were talking about Rodent Forms. We were talking about the Zepstrika. But one mon that I really was like pushing for was Luxray because it attaches that speed. However, I lied to y'all when I said Greninja was the fastest mon because I forgot that I had this mon. Anyway, this gives me blistering speed, and this is the mon that they kept suggesting, and that is going to be Electrode. Electrode has a blistering 150 speed. That's something you have to prep for, is that blistering 150 speed. It's not the strongest mon, has 80 base special attack, but it's still an electric type. You still have to prep for it. And what really made me, really convinced me of this mon was the fact that this gives me a switch into some stupid strong special wall breakers. Namely, 2. Specifically 2. Actually, about 3, we'll say. Electrode has access to Soundproof. I now have a switch in to Swellow, to Xcloud, and to Sylveon. 3 of the most threatening special wall breakers that you can deal with. I have a perfect switch in, which is awesome. It's lit. So, there you go. Like I said, blistering speed is amazing. It's really nice to have something that fast that can outspeed even Scarfers, like I'd say against something like a Dragonite. But anything that's like around base 8 speed that can run a Choice Scarf or anything can outspeed Electrode. Electrode has 438 speed. Your base 84 ain't doing shit to that. Gives me the ability to run a fast Tauntmon. It gives me it can put in work. It put in work against me in the MLP when he foul played my Golurk on the Switch, even though I knew he was coming. However, that is that. That is the final mon. Not much I can really say about Electrode. It's an Electrode. So that is going to be the team. Really think it can do a decent amount of work. I love the way I made this picture with Greninja standing on Venusaur. I think it's an okay team. I think it's a very offensively threatening and scary team. I think the bulk is going to challenge me a little bit. However, when I have a great defense, or a great defense and great offense, whatever. I have scary ass offense. So I might not always have to rely on the bulk. I think this team will do just fine. So that's that. Video didn't end up being too long. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know how you think we're gonna be doing the NPA. There's a link to the NPA fan doc if you want to go check it out. Be my guest. Not much I can say. This is the New York Metagross. This is the team we're gonna rock out with, and hopefully it will lead us to victory. Week 1 will be up in a few days against Pro Sneasel. With that, we guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.